Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the INFP Corner. Today we're going to be talking about extroverted sensing and how INFPs, along with INTPs, have Se PoLR, which means we actually use extroverted sensing like the least well out of all of the MBTI types. Yeah, I wanted to talk about how I've tried to strengthen Se over the years and just my experience with that and sharing it in hopes that it might help you guys in the audience. To start, I guess I should define what extroverted sensing is. It's basically experiencing things like objects and data as they are and reacting to them in the present as they are. Not, building all these associations and then any ideas on top of the associations and going into like intuitive la la land. Actually, if you want to be good at SE, you should probably look at ESTPs and ESFPs. But I think the problem with, I guess, setting your goal so high is that it can sometimes be intimidating. Like, there's no way an INFP is going to act like an ESFP. But I think maybe hearing about the experiences of another INFP can provide you with the empathy and compassion that you need to become just a little bit better at SE. So the purpose of this video is not to make you like super great at SE. I don't think that's actually possible for the INXPs out there, but I think that if you just improve your SE just a little bit, it can help you out so much in life, help your confidence, self-esteem, everything. Definitely when I was little, I dreaded going to gym class because I guess I just felt like I would do everything much worse than the other people in the class. I did not like reacting to projectile motion. Like I hated dodgeball or soccer or basketball or all of these sports. And I think another common thing with low or polar SE is being clumsy, which I definitely struggled with. I would put like a Coca-Cola or whatever by my laptop and then tip it over so the keyboard would like malfunction. I did this so many times, but over the years I've kind of accidentally developed my SE a little bit, so I wanted to like share that experience. Number one thing that I think definitely helps is to practice meditation or mindfulness, which is just kind of quietly observing your thoughts, not judging your thoughts, but just letting them pass through you. One analogy I heard about it was that you can imagine your mind as a clear sky, and the thoughts and feelings flowing through them are like clouds. So even though on a really cloudy day the clouds can look like the sky, meaning like you identify with your thoughts and feelings, just be cognizant that they're actually not attached. Like your feelings and thoughts will eventually pass, and your consciousness will still be there, which the consciousness would be the sky in this case. I find that staying mindful helps to quiet down the NE, I guess, thought chatter, which is really helpful. Like NE is one of my favorite cognitive functions, but sometimes you just need to quiet down the multiple trajectory of possibilities and see things for what they actually are in the current moment. Practicing mindfulness over a long period of time, it also helps you identify current opportunities and act upon them. Probably as INFPs, some of you, like me, have this chatter of self-doubt in the back of your minds, and practicing mindfulness can really help tone that down. Okay, second thing I would recommend is definitely mastering or trying to master a physical skill. In my opinion, the skill should be something that requires like physical exercise. It requires your heartbeat to go up or for you to sweat a little bit. For some reason, I find that INFPs, a lot of them have pretty good hand-eye coordination. Like I'm a pretty good drawer, I guess. But mastering something that takes care of your whole body, like a sport or a dance, or even just running really quickly, something like that, it gives you some sort of like present confidence in your own body, in your own skin, and helps to offset some of that extreme clumsiness that we might be known for. So the thing that I decided to do, and this was like before I knew anything about MBTI really, was that I took belly dancing classes. What I really liked about that activity was that it was kind of in alignment with my FI. I always thought the dance was beautiful and feminine, which I really valued. Something to keep in mind while you're like trying to master this martial art or whatever skill is that you might be progressing at a much slower pace than your classmates. Like, definitely, oh my gosh, poor dance teachers. They might teach something to a whole classroom, dance studio full of people, and a lot of people would get it. And then, half the room would get it, and then a few more people, and a few more people. And I'm like, I'm still not getting it. I think at the beginning, this was so hard on me, especially when the teacher would give me individualized attention. Like, basically stop the class, walk up to me, and be like, you're doing this move wrong. As I got older, now I make room in myself to know that it's okay, I'm good at a lot of things, or I'm not good at a lot of things, and mastering these like physical skills that require whole body coordination is just not like one of the things I'm good at. So I definitely recommend being aware and prepared if such a thing were to occur. Give yourself as much time as you need. Another reason why I think this is super important is that as FI DOMs, sometimes we can think that we're like the masters of feeling or like the masters of our own emotions. Yeah, we might not like the idea that something as simple as physical exercise can have a profound effect on our feelings and emotions. Like, we tend to think that, oh, like I'm choosing my own emotions or there's something sacred, and we tend to look down upon the true fact that, regular exercise helps to regulate your emotions. And since we kind of don't necessarily value physical activity in itself, we can go like long stretches of time. I know like I go to long stretches of time without like exercising at all, and then like later I'm super depressed and I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I so sad? Oh yeah, I didn't exercise for like 3 weeks. So I think, making room in your schedule for some SE activity like this is really helpful. And also, as you become slowly over time better and better at doing this physical thing, you will probably find that you become less clumsy and you develop like more confidence in your body and therefore in yourself. Okay, the third and last thing is really great. You guys are gonna love this. It's actually to listen and act upon your impulses and desires. It's almost contrarian in a way because I think most advice to INFPs tell them to not act based on their desires. I think society tends to distrust feeling, like we see feelings as kind of like a wave, which it is, but I think for INFPs, we're good at keeping fast upon this one desire or what like keeping consistent values despite fluctuating emotions and moods. With FI and SI, what tends to happen is that we suddenly, like intuitively, feeling wise, we know that we want something all of a sudden. It could be something simple, like I want that cake that's in that store window, something like that. But then we stop ourselves instead of, SE acting upon that impulse. We stop ourselves and do like a thorough check-in with a SI list that we might have compiled in our head, like, is this correct? And we also have to check in with FI. So this is one of the reasons that we tend to be really slow to act and we might miss out on some opportunities. So I think to start off with this exercise, if you find yourself like wanting things that don't really matter much in the grand scheme of things, like to eat like the cake, as I said, or to just go out for a walk. Like seriously, like sometimes I'm thinking, oh, I feel like going out for a walk, and then I think, wait, was I supposed to go out for a walk? Like, if I go out for a walk now, should I make that into like a routine that I should go out every day or every other day? I just overthink everything. So I think for the events that don't really matter as much, consequential wise, you can just try to, and the first meditating exercise, it will help you a lot with this third exercise of just listening and giving in to your desires. And over time, my experience of doing this is that over time I became happier and more confident in my desires. Here, I think it's really important to make the distinction that it's not that you're devaluing or unvaluing your FI principles and consistency. It's that you're building within the FI model structure. You're building like a little subset that says you're allowed once in a while to just go for your desires. You don't need to rationalize them. You don't actually need to make sure that they're consistent because everyone's inconsistent. Just to build that little like disclaimer within your FI has been like really, really helpful to me in my personal life. It's basically like making room for ambiguity, making room for mistakes, making room for you to be a person. Yeah, I know we're like super perfectionistic sometimes, and this really helps. Yeah, so those were my 3 tips on how you can develop your SE a little bit. Let me know in the comments what you think of these tips, if you've applied them already in your personal life, or if you will. I know that secretly, or not so secretly, INFPs are really big on self-development, so I'm kind of excited to do a self-development video series that's catered specifically to like the INFP. And I'm starting off with like our worst function, which is SE. If you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know, because I would like to actually continue on with how to be better at TE, how to be better at SI, how not to use your FI all the time to the point of exhaustion. Yeah, so I really look forward to discussing all 8 cognitive functions and their development in the life of the INFP. Thanks so much for watching!